Today, on Pat's Car Garage, the final video on my old camera. I'm changing the water pump on my Jeep since the gasket has failed and started leaking coolant all over the place. While I'm in there, I'll change the thermostat housing and remove the radiator since I need to replace the AC condenser, and for some reason, the AC condenser mounts under the radiator, which is properly stupid, but, you know, a Chrysler product. Once you have the belt and fan off, you can drain the coolant. There's a plug on the radiator on the passenger side. It's black like the rest of the radiator, so it's pretty easy to miss. Or you can be dumb like me because I couldn't find it and poke a hole in the lower rad hose. I was replacing it anyway. No, really. Couple of hoses, couple of bolts, and the coolant temp sensor to remove the thermostat housing. I'm not replacing my thermostat since it's only a couple of years old. Use a scraping tool to scrape all the old gasket material off. Make sure the surface is perfectly clean, otherwise the gasket may not seal properly. The water pump is also a bracket for the power steering pump. Again, so stupid. Who the hell at Chrysler thought this was a good idea? So, unbolt the power steering pump and set it aside. There is one bolt that is accessed through the pulley. It may have a nut on the back of it. If it does, it should be reachable under the intake manifold. The water pump is now easily accessible and removable, just some bolts holding it on. Again, be sure to clean that mating surface up with a scraper. You don't want any leaks coming from here. New water pumps don't come with the extra pipe that connects to the heater core, so don't forget to order that. In a bind, you can reuse the one from your old pump, but it's just a few dollars, so pick it up ahead of time. You do want to screw the pipe on pretty tight. It's a pipe thread, so it's tapered to make a good seal. You'll need a bench vise and a wrench to get it tight enough that it doesn't leak. Yeah, you know, this water pump, I mean, it's a little dirty, but it spins nicely. There's no play in the shaft. There's no wear on the pump. I think I'm going to keep it as a spare in case the other one breaks. Yeah, this will make a decent spare water pump. Nothing too crazy about installing the new pump and thermostat housing. I'll post the torque specs in the description below. The new gaskets must be sprayed with an adhesive gasket maker on both sides before installation. I sprayed mine quite liberally, and if you're conservative, spray it liberally anyway. I figure I may as well show you how to remove the radiator. I'm not replacing it since there's nothing wrong with it. I just need to remove it to get to the condenser. On any other car on the planet, you can pull the condenser without removing the radiator, but well, here we are. You just need to remove the two hold downs on the upper rad support, and then remove the upper rad support. The bottom of the radiator sits on some rubber bushings. Just pull the whole thing out. The rest should be pretty straightforward, so I'll skip to the end. Fill the radiator up with coolant. You can squeeze the upper rad hose to move air around, but the 4-liter engine is actually self-bleeding. Just start the engine up and go for a drive. Let the engine cool down before adding more coolant again. Afterwards, there will be a little bit of air left over. You'll hear it rushing through the pipes each time you cold start. Just keep the overflow tank full and it will suck in extra fluid over time as the air gets bled out. It took about 10 cold starts before all the air had worked itself out.